Hello, friends. How are you? Today, I have heard some really inspiring story. Well, it's actually an illustration, and just to help us understand this concept of compassion from the Good Samaritan story. It was beautifully illustrated by this preacher, and I wanted to share it along, pass it along to you all. So, we all have known and heard the story of Good Samaritan. And so the concept of compassion from this story is it's not just a feeling, it's not enough to feel sympathetic or to express a couple of words of sympathy or to show your facial expressions that you are sorry for whoever that is. But compassion actually involves cost. So, as we know, the Good Samaritan has provided first aid as a first step. And then, even before that, he stopped on the way when he saw the person injured. He didn't just pass by like the other two did. He actually saw the need at hand. He must have been on some errands. He must be going on some business trip, or he must be on some personal task, or tour, or trip, or whatever it is. He was on the way, but he found this person in need and he stopped. He rescheduled. He attended to this person, gave him first aid, put him on his donkey, which means out of his comfort zone. He is walking now. The injured person is on the animal, and the Good Samaritan is actually walking. That means he is not comfortable. He is walking. And he used his resources as the first step. Then he takes him to the innkeeper and says, put full charge until this person gets fully recovered on my account. I will pay it. That means he wants to pay the full price just to make sure this person is taken care of. So compassion involves cost, time, rescheduling, and coming out of your or getting out of your comfort zones. To help understand this even better, the preacher used a couple of things, one statistic and one illustration. This church decided to do student ministry. It's a well to do church, fully packed at all times. Just think about it as a mega church. But they have no idea how to proceed about this. So, at least word got out that this church is interested to help students. And one student in a neighboring place in a college, maybe it's a community college, and he heard it, he went to visit this church with his shabby clothes and hair not done or things like that. I mean, students, they cannot afford to maintain all that. So he just went. But to his surprise, there was not even a single vacant seat. And he just decided to walk to the front and sit on the floor. To everyone's amazement, everybody was shocked, not knowing what to do or how to react, because they have never seen anybody do that. And so they were just waiting for the minister to get up and say something. But the deacon, who was 90 years old, all the way at the back, noticed what's happening, and he started walking with his walking stick. And it takes a few minutes for him to get from the back to the front. He finally makes his way and then sits down next to the student just to make him feel welcome and to show some kindness. And at this, everybody choked with emotion. So the minister finally stood up and he said, "You guys will never remember what I will preach today, but you will never forget what you have just seen." Imagine that. So, as Christ followers, we have to show compassion, practice compassion, not just express few words or maybe throw a $5 or $10 to someone in need. No. Show compassion, action, not sympathetic words or facial expressions. And the world has every right to expect compassion from Christ followers because Christ led by example on this compassion. The second thing that he used was statistics. The biggest donations that happen every year, not even one of that, or maybe one, is to actual people who are in real need. All the other donations are not even to those who are in real need. God has put people like us who have the eyes to see people in real need, like homeless or widows, fatherless, orphans, vulnerable people groups no one cares about. Decades ago, church used to play such a big role in taking care of these people groups in the society and community, but it's not the case anymore. So when we hear these things, we ought to be inspired and encouraged and take it as a challenge to practice compassion, which involves cost, getting out of our comfort zones, spending our resources, rescheduling, and things of that sort. I hope this inspires and encourages us all. God bless.